There are tons of items and materials to collect and craft in Horizon Forbidden West, ranging from ingredients to cook certain meals to rare stones and gems. Perhaps one of the most important items that you can pick up though is the horned lizard bone. These are pretty hard to find and for good reason, but there are certain ways to increase your chances of finding them and a couple of tips that we're going to give you to make them easier to spot. So in this video we'll be explaining why horned lizard bones are useful and where exactly you can find them. So let's get into it. To briefly explain, horned lizard bones can be found in the loot of horned lizards. No surprises there. However, it's not as easy as finding one, taking it down, and then picking them up afterwards. They're actually pretty hard to find and can be hard to kill if you don't approach it in the right way. The reason this item is so desirable for players in Horizon is because it's a required ingredient in crafting pouch upgrades, which allows you to carry more items around with you. It can get quite tedious having to go back to the merchants to sell off any items that you can't carry. So this is the best way to make sure that you can play through the game for as long as possible without being interrupted and having to make that trip back. So let's explain where to find these lizards. The only place that you'll spot them is in the desert biomes within the Horizon Forbidden West map. Make sure to not confuse this with the rocky desert to the west of Barren Light, as it could be a somewhat easy mistake to make. You'll want to go even further west on the map from the rocky desert and head south of the ruined village of the Deluge. This will be the exact location of where they're going to spawn. A couple of things to keep in mind when entering this area are that there will be a lot of machines to either avoid or take out, so be careful when moving around and try to avoid any conflict. It's a good idea to have a fast travel bag with you just in case you start to get overrun and need to get out of there quickly. Along with the area being pretty dangerous, it's also really hard to spot the lizards. One thing that you can do to make this a little bit easier is hold down the right analog stick to utilise Alloy's focus, which will allow you to scan the nearby wildlife and tag any creatures that you might find. Even with this though, they are pretty tricky to spot, but it definitely does make it easier. As if finding and spotting them wasn't hard enough already, they're also very rare, so expect to be looking around for a while before you find one. Once you do find one though, don't just sprint straight up to it. Have your bow out ready to strike, and when you get into range, fire. Now you've got it, simply loot the animal and you will find the horned lizard bone, allowing you to increase your pouch size. That was our guide on where to get horned lizard bones in Horizon Forbidden West. If this video helped you out, help us out by subscribing to the channel. Thank you all for watching and we'll see you next time.